Alright guys, final video. We have 3 battles for this one. I just had this one against Zach, like, literally 5 minutes ago. I had one, the next one is against some guy called Soa I had earlier in the day. And the last one I had is against Cote, or Cote, yeah, I'm assuming Cote. Now, I'll get to the Cote battle in a bit, but there's a couple of things that I do need to say. Anyway, Zach kind of came on randomly last video while I was narrating that, and popped up and said, yeah, do you want to have a battle? And I was like, oh, come on, I've already got all 12, I have all I need. He's like, oh, but I really, really want a battle, and I'm like, okay, I'll have a battle then. And then he leaves, and comes back 20 minutes later, and I was like, oh, about damn time, where were you? And he's like, oh, I had to go do something. I was like, bleh, can we battle now? And he's like, no, I need to battle Makar first. I was like, what? He's like, well, Makar us first. I'm like, dude, I want to get this done. I can't be arsed anymore. Give me a battle now, or I'm going to go narrate this crap and get it over with. And he managed to iron out with Makar, and Makar was like, yeah, alright, go battle second. So, got a battle with Zach. Zach is a good buddy. We shout and fight a lot, but that's our way of weirdly getting along. I don't know. In some friends, arguing is all that's needs for getting along, I suppose. But still, he's a cool guy, and he's pretty good at battling, so props to him. Now, I had to go give him my FC, because the annoying thing is I turned off my camera and turned off my DS, and then Makar was like, oh yeah, you can battle second. I was like, oh. And then I get in the Wi-Fi room, and I'm like, well, he goes in like, I can't see you, and I'm like, don't you have my FC? And he deleted it, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I went out, gave it to him, and this is the battle that we finally had. I did promise him he'd be in it, though. I did want him to be in these videos, because he's a good battler and he's good at 4th gen. Anyway, he leads off with a Sand Slash, I lead off with my Macargo, as usual. I know he's probably going to SR or EQ or Rapid Spin, so I am going to switch out into my Charizard. Now, last time I Solar Beamed a Sand Slash, and I was thinking here, well, why the fuck not? He switches out predicting that, because he remembers on one of my old sets I had Power Herb Solar Beam. I think it was on a Moltres I had on 4th gen Platinum, I had Solar Beam on it, so he assumed I'd run the same on Zard, so good predictions, Mr. Zach. And he goes into this Entei, and he's like, oh, you got a problem? I'm like, well, no, I have EQ, I should be fine, I mean, come on, it's a Charizard versus Entei. I know this Entei is going to be, it's shiny, it's going to have Flare Blitz, and Extreme Speed and Howl, all that crap. I go for the EQ, and it doesn't even get close to killing it. And then he fires off a Stone Edge and kills me! So this isn't going very well. Normally, well, from the last few battles I've had, Charizard has been tearing crap up, but dude, did not work out the way I was intending it to. So I'm going to go into my Gardevoir because it's Scarfed. I know I'm going to be okay. A Psychic at that range is going to kill anything, unless it's Dark, or I don't know, a Registeel. That might live. But he goes back into his Sand Slash. I guess Scouting. I just go for the Psychic. I hit it, does a absolute crap ton, and then I 2-hit KO with the second one. Now, hang on, let me just kill off this Sand Slash. This thing should be dead. Arrgh. Damn ye, Zach, and your good predictions, or remembering of crap I have on my other guys. Right, he's gonna bring in a Sharpedo, or Pedo, a very, creative name there, Zach, that's well played. He obviously knows I'm Scarfed, but I don't know what set he is. People run Life Orbed, Scarfed, well, not very many Scarfed ones, Banded, Spexed, anything runs on a Sharpedo. But I go into my Wormadam, figuring if he was special, I'd take a special move, and if he was physical, he'd probably go for a Water Pulse, predicting the Macargo to come in. No, what? Not water pulse, water full. Ugh. It's too late. This is why I was getting angry, because I wanted to narrate this crap and get it done. I've been trying to do this thing for what, like 4 weeks, get all of these videos out, but yeah, it'll be done now. So he switches out, which tells me he's choiced something, and I toxic on the switch, figuring he's going to switch, and in comes the Entei. Now, he's probably thinking at this point, I'm about to take a Flare Blitz to the face. However, Wormadam will now prove his, quality again by sucker punching the Entei and killing it. And he was like, what, sucker punch Wormadam? I was like, yeah. Sucker punch Wormadam. Get fucked. That's what you get. Wormadam deserves more love, people. Show the worm some love, ye bastards. Even though he's not a worm, he's like a bush thing, I don't know. So in comes a Dustox, and I have nothing to do to this with Wormadam. He can kill me, I can't touch it at all, unless he attacks me, in which case I can sucker punch and like hit for a quarter of damage. Woo. So I go into Macargo, figuring a status is coming, but Macargo's whole point is to set up Stealth Rocks, burn summon, toxic summon, then Memento and die, so whatever. If Macargo goes down, Macargo goes down. No biggie to me. But, I believe I am going to set up my Stealth Rocks as he switches out, because, like I say, Bug Buzz ain't doing shit to me, and he's already statused me, so I know I ain't going to get another status coming my way. So, that's alright by me. He goes into Like Daddy, his Machoke, and I set up the SR. Now, for a while, I was thinking, if it's, no guard with Bio, my camera is still being a cunt. I didn't even tape it down for this one, I was too lazy. If it's no guard, then I'm going to wisp it, or I'm going to die, and I'll figure out, because he'll probably go for a dynamic punch or close combat, depending on which one he is. If he's guts, meh, I get residual damage, and my Gardevoir is going to outspeed and kill it anyway. So either way, I either cripple it, or I figure out that it's not crippled, and I go into my Gardevoir and I fuck it up, and Focus Blast it, or something good. But he goes into his Sharpedo, I go for a Wisp. After this, because I'm still kind of figuring, well, I'm not really that bothered by it. I don't care if I die at this point, so I'm just going to Memento this turn. But for some reason, he's playing the crazy fucking Switch game and switches back into Machoke, which kind of made me feel like it was Guts, because if I Wisp that and it was Guts, then yeah, that would work out well for him. But I go for the Memento, and he's like, what the fuck is this? Your Macargo is weird as hell, and so's your Wormadam. And I was like, yeah, it's me. What did you expect? I always make weird-ass shit. So, I go into Gardevoir, knowing I'm going to outspeed it. He makes quite a good play here, because I was Focus Blasting, predicting the Sharpedo to obviously come in, and he goes into his Dustox. So that was a pretty good play on his part, I'm not gonna lie. And my camera, oh my god, I hate my camera. Look at that, it keeps moving, it's so annoying. But like I say, I'm stuck on Focus Blast now, so I am gonna have to switch. That was a pretty solid prediction by him. I mean, I would have gone Psychic again, but, if I'm thinking about it, I probably could have done, because even if Sharpedo comes in, his Waterfall won't do crap because he's burned and I've Wormadam, so... Still, I go into Wormadam. Wormadam is pretty much Death Fodder at this point. I don't care at all. But he's going to go into Meganium. And I'm obviously thinking I'm going to Toxic this, because that seems like a fairly smart plan. It just seems to make a pretty solid amount of sense to me. You want a Toxic and Meganium, since most Meganiums are going to be walls. So he goes for Aromatherapy, I get the Toxic off. I predict him to Aromatherapy again, as you do, because you don't want your walls toxic. That's generally a pretty retarded idea. And I'm going to go into Gardevoir. Now, my main reason I wanted to do that was, if I go into Gardevoir and I trick and it hits the Meganium, then I get his lefties, and he gets my Choice Scarf. No biggie. If it's defensive Meganium, I don't care. If his Sharpedo comes in and I trick, then I get to see what item it's got, if it's Choice Band, Choice Scarf, whatever. If his Machoke comes in, I get to see what that has. You know, it just kind of lets me play around his team a bit better. So I trick. He predicted that. He stays in and goes with the energy ball again. I have lefties, so I'm not that bothered. I know I could live another Stealth Rock switch in after lefties gain. I think it might have been bloody close though. I'm not really sure. I never do Stealth Rock calcs, so I go back into Wormadam because again I'm still not bothered. Wormadam is death fodder. He should just die. But Wormadam's still hanging out. I know I resist the energy ball. He takes a crap ton from Toxic. So that has worked out very well for me. I'm going to go for a Seed Bomb, predicting the Sharpedo to come in. But, you know, if he doesn't, I still land a hit on something, because I know he's not going to stay in if he's locked into Energy Ball. That's a fairly safe bet, to be honest. So he switches out, and he goes into his Machoke. I was kind of annoyed. I was really hoping to hit the Sharpedo and just end this, because if I did, then I would outspeed his Machoke, kill that, you know, I would be fine. It's just the Sharpedo that's really ruining it. But the Seed Bomb does a pretty solid chunk. I'm quite happy with that. I protect just to see what he's locked himself into. Well, I don't know that he's well, it turns out he's Spexed. I kind of had a thought because I remember him going on about how much he loves Specs for choke, but I kind of, you know, I wanted to just protect and see what he had because I assumed he was Specs because of his love for it. I go into Regirock knowing he's locked into Fire Blast. He hasn't seen it yet. It's a pretty solid play. I can land a Stone Edge on anything that comes in. You know, made sense to me. I didn't think he would bring the Sharpedo in. I could have gone Ice Punch and hit the Meganium a bit harder, but I thought Stone Edge would kill it, to be honest. You know, I wasn't that phased. I go for the Stone Edge, and Toxic damage doesn't even kill it. So now I'm left with quite a predicament. I've got to decide where to go. I'm going to go back to Wormadam, because, again, it's the safest thing I've got. And I don't really care what he does to Wormadam. So I'm quite happy with that, and it DCs. And I was like, oh wow, I'm actually quite annoyed, because it was actually quite a good battle. I actually quite enjoyed that. A lot of prediction fest, a lot of intricate thinking, you know. So props to Zach, you were right, man. The next battle I have is against Soa. We're getting these 3 battles apart. Well, Zach one was fun, I'm not going to lie. But Soa and Cote, the 2 battles were probably the most fun I had. I enjoyed all the battles I've had over the course of this thing, but in my opinion, these 2 probably the most fun for me, just because we both played pretty well and I enjoyed it, or, you know, me and my opponent. So I set up the Stealth Rocks on his Gengar as he goes for a Shadow Ball. This Gengar's kind of tricky because I don't really have anything that wants to take it well. I mean, I've got Mantine, you know, who won't really enjoy anything as my main special wall to take it on, but he is going to have T-Ult. I go into Magnezone thinking I'll wall him completely. He gets a special defense drop. I didn't even notice that. Also, I completely forgot about Focus Blast, and that missing was huge. Absolutely huge. It gives me the free T-Wave, and, you know, it gives me the chance to get something going, really. So that was just ginormous, quite frankly. I am, if I recall correctly, going to go into my Crobat, predicting the Focus Blast again. Because he's a lead Gengar, I'm incredibly worried that he's going to have the Sash, and I don't want to send, like, my Kabutops in, or my Mantine in. Oh, I go for the Rain Dance first. I guess I didn't really care about the Magnezone from that point. If I had Rain up, I was pretty happy. Yeah. See, it's late, I'm withered, I'm tired, damn it. So he's going to take me down as I get the Rain up. Now I'm going to go into Crobat, and I am going to U-turn just to break the Sash. Presumed Sash, I suppose. So I U-turn, break it. Good. Switch out, and I believe I go into Mantine, predicting the Shadow Ball. Oh, going to Donphan. Good. He goes for the T-Bolt. So it's a... Well, hang on. Oh, yeah, why would he Shadow Ball a Crobat? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I go into Donphan to take the T-Bolt, and then I go into Mantine to take the Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's better. There you go. There was a hole where I completely forgot what I was thinking. Like I say, it's late. Mantine goes in, I get the special defense drop, I don't care, go for a hydro pump, and I take out that grinning ghost bastard. So there you go. That dies. So that's decent start, I suppose. Although I'm down 4-5, so at the end of the day, not really. In comes this Starmie. I know it's going to use T-Bolt, or it's so obvious. Like the most obvious move imaginable, but it could also pull a Psychic, which is kind of worrying. So I switch out, I go into Donphan as Death Fodder just to see what it's going to do. It does go for the Psychic, that's fine. I actually wanted to die so that I could bring in Kabutops. He gets the crit, I don't care. Whatever. The rain does stop though, and that's very bad. So I do have to bring in Lapras, set up my rain again. Like I say, in this match I'm actually just sacking things, to be honest, just so I can get Kabutops and the Mantine, ready and good to go. So I set up my rain. My main plan here is I'm going to roar him out. I know Stealth Rocks are coming. I might actually go into Mantine predicting that. Like I say, I'm hazy. I think I'm going to go into Mantine. Ooh, Mantine, huzzah. So go into the Mantine. He goes for the Stealth Rocks, that's fine by me, I'm not that phased by it. I am just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. If he wants to stay in, he'll die. If he wants to switch out, I hit something hard. I was actually hoping he'd go into Starmie, because the last Starmie I faced, I 2-hit KO'd it with the Hydro Pump, so I really wanted him to go into that. But he goes into a Blissey, and things get kind of tricky, because I know I need my Kabutops for that. It's very important. The Waterfall might kill it, but the superpower is a sure kill. Choice Banded Adamant superpower will absolutely destroy that Blissey. No doubt. So, I switch out of my Mantine and go into my Kabutops. I was really worried about the T-Wave, but I would rather just have it die. Although it goes for a T-Bolt, which was incredibly scary for me. But I figured I'd live. It is a Blissey, not some bloody Starmie. If it was Starmie, then that would suck badly. But I could bring in Kabutops is in now. I'm quite happy sitting here. I'm just going to go for a Waterfall, because it's going to hit anything incredibly hard. He goes back into the Fortress, and I go for the Waterfall, and just like that fucking Metagross, I didn't think it would kill this, but still, it took that incredibly well. What the fuck? Kabutops, you are disappointing, sir. I want to go find another Choice Band Swift Swimmer that isn't a failure. I mean, Mantine has shown better sweeping potential than you have. But still, 2 Waterfalls takes down the Fortress, so that's okay. What does he go into? What do you go into, sir? Mr. Ice. He goes into this Weavile. He goes for the Ice Shard, and he told me that he completely spaced that that thing Kabutops was water. Either that or he forgot water resisted ice, which I found quite funny. But there you go. It's not his fault. Everyone has off days. So I go for the Waterfall and take out the Weavile. So that's good. Glad that thing's dead. And I believe he's going to bring in his Starmie. Now I'm a twat because I think I actually stay in and go for a Waterfall, or I switch out. There, I don't remember anymore. Yeah, it looks like I'm switching. I guess into Lapras. Crobat, right. I suppose I can smack it with a U-turn. So that's something. He goes for the Thunderbolt, that's fine. I figured I'd live it. Not well, but I figured I'd live it. And I die. So, I obviously didn't live it. And now I have 3 guys that are weak to it, and my rain has stopped. So I'm going to go into Lapras. I am going to go for a rain dance. I believe I live this T-Bolt. I believe. Yeah, you go. Go for the rain dance, that's fine. Now, what happens here is I let my Lapras die. I know I've got my 2 main sweepers left. I reckon I can pull this out. However, knowing that Kabutops has Night Slash, I go into it. That was a really, really quite a bad play on my part, because if had I gone into Mantine first and Hydro Pumped, I could have brought in Kabutops and Waterfalled the rest of his team. So, but I go for the Night Slash, I take it out. So Starmie's gone, yeah, but he has a Pert, and you know that Swampert is going to take any Night Slash, but because I've already switched in on Stealth Rocks, I can't switch out and come back in. So I have to stay in a Night Slash. Had I just gotten damage on the Starmie with Mantine the first time, and then brought in Kabutops and just Waterfalled, I mean, it would have been debatable whether it killed this Swampert, but, I mean, Mantine's Hydro Pump did, so, you know, I don't know. Kabutops is stronger in every single way, but, you know, Swampert does generally have better defense. Most people run defensive sets, and with the Blissey there, I'm assuming it was a defensive set, but with the Rain Up, I reckon it would have killed. But I bring in Mantine, I go for a Hydro Pump, I take it out. I didn't remember what his last was at the time, but Blissey comes in, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's just, you know, GG. GG, sir. So, good game, Soa. I don't know if that crit mattered. If it did, then I was well and truly boned, because I doubt Kabutops would have killed it either. But in comes the Blissey, and he T-bolts me for the kill. Now, the last battle, my most favourite battle out of all of the battles I've had over these last 12 videos, is, as I say, against Cote. The reason, I mean, first off, we both played really well, but there was a little funny thing at the end. But when we were playing, I forgot to record. It was really, really bad. I was really angry. It was such a good match. But Cote, being the awesome, awesome guy he is, actually saved it on his versus recorder and then sent it to me. So, thank you, Cote. If it wasn't for you, people would not be able to see this brilliant, brilliant match. So, I'm going to link his channel in the description, and you guys better go show him some love, because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't see this. And it was such a shame as well. Or it would have been, because this was an excellent match. But there you go. So, I owe him one. Like I say, I was really bloody worried, but he didn't mind, you know. I told him I forgot to record, and he screen recorded it, he was going to send me his save file, and then I said, I don't use emulators, and he was like, okay, I'll just go screen record it, and he just, you know, he was more than happy to, so, I believe at the moment he's on a hiatus from uploading, but he still has a lot of really, really good uploads, so, go check him out and show him some love. Anyway, we do have the battle music, and this is probably the best quality battle I'm ever going to post. Right, I am on the other side, just so you know. So I lead off with Donphan, he leads off with Aero, he goes for a Taunt, as I go for a Charm, actually. Mainly just sort of just to see what, you know, what he's going to do. But he does go for the Taunt. I'm going to go into my Lapras, because I figured that'd scare him out decently. He goes for the Stealth Rock. I probably should have Rapid Spin predicting that, but there you go. See, narrating for too long hurts, guys. Now I'm going to go for the Rain Dance. And next turn I'm going to go for the Roar, but he reveals his Dust Noir isn't the normal set. He goes for the Curse, which is, you know, pretty different from the norm, because most of them are really bulky Pain Splitters with, like, Wisp and stuff. So, I'm going to roar him out here as he lays the curse on me. He told me later his Dust Noir had Destiny Bond, so it's quite a pretty awesome set, really. But he brings out this Zapdos, and this worried me quite a lot, but I figure it's probably going to have Thunderbolt and Heat Wave, because that's what most of them carry, unless they carry Hidden Battle Grass. So I go back into Donphan, predicting the electric attack, and you know, he goes for it. It works out well. I knew he wouldn't go for a Heat Wave if he had it, because the rain was up, and it would be, you know, completely pointless. Donphan would take it fine anyway. So Here, I do believe I am gonna. Oh, woohoo! I switch out into Mantine, predicting, I guess, the heat wave. See what he's gonna do. So that works out well. He does go for the raw though, so I kind of wish I'd stealth rocked, and I get switched into Crobat. My guys are taking a lot of stealth rock damage, and I'm not liking that one bit. I do believe I go for a taunt here, because you know, I'd rather not have him raw my entire team around, you know. Or I switch back into Donphan. Nah, I go for the taunt. There you go. Just in case he was one of those sub-roost sets, that would suck. But he goes for the discharge. I'm praying he doesn't paralyze me. Really, really hoping he doesn't, because a paralyzed Crobat is fucking useless. You can't use it at all. I mean, the whole point is its speed, and if it doesn't have its speed, it's worthless. But he doesn't paralyze me. So, he's got the taunt on him now, so I figure he's probably going to switch, predicting the Donphan to come in. So he's going to switch out, he's going to go into his Aero. I'm going to go for a U-turn, predicting that. If he had a Sash, because he was lead Aero with Taunt and Stealth Rocks, I just broke it, so that's very helpful. And now, I go into my Kabutops. Now, like I say, the whole point of this team is the sweepers, really. I set up, I wall things, and then when I get the chance, I bring my sweepers in, and I go for it. So he comes in, or he switches out and brings in his Dustoir. I'm just gonna waterfall that thing, which is, you know, he said that's kind of why he didn't, well, he was kind of annoyed he didn't get to show the Destiny Bond, but, you know, it was sufficient Death Fodder, I suppose. It's better than his Aero dying. So Waterfall's gonna take that down. Kabutops is looking pretty good at the moment. With Rain Up, Choice Banded, Waterfall, that is looking solid. But he brings in the Starmie. I'm just going to go for a Waterfall to get as much damage on it as I can. Seemed like the safest play at the time. Because it's got the T-Bolt and I'd rather nothing took that. And in the rain, Surf is going to hit really, really hard. So he's going to go for the Surf instead of the T-Bolt. I guess, you know, predicting my switch back into Donphan, which is why I stayed in and went for the Waterfall again. Maybe I should have gone into Lapras predicting that, but like I say, if he went for a T-Bolt, that wouldn't have gone well, especially with Stealth Rocks up. But the rain goes down, I go into Magnezone, fairly confident I can take a Surf now, because the rain's gone. He was kind enough to tell me the rain had gone down as well. But I actually believe I'm going to go for T-Wave, there you go. But I didn't expect him to switch, that's the thing. I kind of figured that he would probably end up staying in, going for it. But I've T-Waved the Zapdos, in my opinion it's quite useless now. I go for the Rain Dance, he goes for the Discharge. I was really hoping he wouldn't paralyze, but the whole point people run Discharge for is that it has the 30% paralyze chance, and he gets it. So, that's fair enough, it's not too haxy. I'm not gonna moan about it. He's gonna go for another Discharge. I'm not really sure why. I don't know what his other moves are. I'm assuming like Roost, Heat Wave, you know, something weird with the Roar. But I go for the Thunder, and I don't care how bulky it is, that is gonna hit like really bloody hard. I mean, look at that. I don't know whether it was defensive or special defensive, but that did pretty much 300 points of damage. That is not something to scoff at. So he gets his lefties back, and he's going to go for the Rest, which is a pretty weird move on Zapdos, which effectively tells me that he's a Rest Sleep Talk set with Discharge and Raw, which is a pretty interesting set actually. You do not see that from Zapdos a lot. I do get Power Hacks there, I'm not going to say it mattered at all. Because next turn he Sleep Talks and gets the Discharge, I go for a Thunder, and I hit him again, so... Oh no, he gets the Rest, oh that's alright then. So yeah, pretty much made up for it right there, really. I mean, I'll live that. So, you know, Thunder is gonna hit him like a truck again. How much does he take it with? Ooh, look at the min-max variation on that. 50 points of damage between min-max, that's insane. So he's nearly dead. I believe I'm just going to keep going for Thunders. He goes for another Sleep Talk. What does he get? He gets the Discharge, so there you go. I was nearly right last time. He gets the Discharge. I'm going to live that. That's fine. I'm just going to fire off another Thunder to take him down. That's alright. So there goes a major, sort of blockade. Because I doubt Mantine, even with the Rain Boosted Hydro Pump, would kill it. But my Magnezone lives, surprisingly. He brings back in the Starmie, just goes for an Ice Beam to take me out. I don't know, maybe just in case I went into Lapras. But Magnezone goes down, so that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that, really. I'm going to go into Crobat so that, I was kind of thinking I would outspeed and hit it with a U-turn. Because, again, Crobat's pretty quick, but obviously not running max speed on my Crobat is extremely bad for me. I run 200 speed EVs, not max. I don't have a plus speed nature. I've got plus special defense nature, and it's been fucking me over all the time. But I'm going to go into Lapras now. I'm going to try and set up the Rain. I've reckoned I could live a T-Bolt, but he's going to switch out. I'm assuming at this point he might not actually have the T-Bolt. And he brings in a Dragonite. Now, that's very bad. Because if he gets a couple of DDs up, that's awful. So I'm just going to go for the Roar, just to, make sure that if he does go for a DD, he's going to get, blown out. So, roar him out there. Dragonite takes that. Oh no, Lapras takes that incredibly well, surprisingly. But in comes the Aerodactyl. I'm just gonna let Lapras die at this point because I want to bring in Mantine on the Rain, and then I'm good to go. That's pretty much my shot from everything I've seen. A Mantine Hydro Pump is pretty much gonna, should steamroll through it pretty effectively. So he's going to take me down. The Rain's still up, which is very important. I think I have about 6 turns of it left. Going to the Mantine. The only main problem here is that Life Orb damage is going to catch up to me at half health. So he goes into come at me. I go for the Hydro Pump. I maybe should have predicted that better and gone for the Ice Beam, but, I didn't want him to go into Starmie. Even though pretty much at this point, Hydro Pump's going to wreck everything on his team. He takes that pretty goddamn well, surprisingly, when you consider the Rain's up. And I go for an Ice Beam, and he has a very smart, item on there. He's got the Yachi Berry to weaken it, and it's going down, it's going down, it's going down, and he lives, but he gets frozen. So that was incredibly lucky for me. That's insane. That was really unfair for him, because he made a good play, and he made a solid prediction, or he knew he would live the Ice Beam, but Freeze Hack said no, so I take him out with another one. I get a crit, so that shows that my luck is actually drumming up at this point, which is something that never ever happens to me. So the Rain's still going. In comes the Starmie again, not sure why, but he's going to switch out and go into his Infernape. I'm just going to Hydro Pump that to hell. Maybe he was thinking I would Ice Beam, and he's just trying to stall out Rain and Life Orb, but Hydro Pump is going to kill the last 3 of his guys, so I was fair, or the 2 guys I'd seen with Starmie and Aero, so I was more than happy to go for it. Take down the Ape. If that had a Sash, that would be awful. But Life Orb is slowly creeping up on me. And now, here comes probably the best play, or the best part of the battle. I go for an Ice Beam, because I just wanted to make sure if Hydro Pump missed, I was completely screwed. Donphan can't hit the Aerodactyl, but as you can see, his Aero has actually quite a bit of HP invested in it. So it's going down, and he lives on 13, but he gets frozen, and then I live my Life Orb on 1 HP, then he falls out and goes for a Power Herb Sky Attack. So he completely wrecks my Mantine on 1 HP, massive mega overkill, to destroy the Mantine. And I'm thinking, I'm done. I have nothing. All I have is Rapid Spin to hit it. The rain stops, which is very crucial, because that means I might live a Starmie Surf. I go into my Donphan. He's going to go for a Stone Edge just to get as much damage on me as possible, which is fair enough. And then I go for a Rapid Spin, and I get a crit. So I kill off his arrow with the Rapid Spin, take it down, and it's 1-on-1. It's my Donphan versus his Starmie. My Donphan does have some special defense investment, but it's still a Starmie, and it's still a Stab Surf. So he brings it in, and I know that if I live this, I will KO with the EQ and I'll win. After all of that hacks, it comes down to this. So he goes for the Surf, and it's going down. Going down. And I'm just in eager anticipation that I'll live, but it's still going down, and he gets a crit. I don't know if that mattered. I don't honestly care. That was an awesome, awesome, awesome battle. My favourite by far. I don't think I've ever enjoyed one more. Just that sequence at the end, just sheer awesomeness. So thank you, Cote. Thank you, Soa. And thank you, Zach, and thank you everyone else who gave me these battles. A massive help. I'm really glad I've finally managed to get this done. I hope all people who have been watching these have enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm just glad I've got it done. I mean, that's like upwards of 25 battles for you guys, so if you stuck through to the end, I hope you've enjoyed it all. There will be an update video coming up soon with some projects that I've got going on now. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. And if you don't watch any of my new vids coming up in the near future, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So later, guys.